Go.
President Trump's proposal for the U.S.-Mexico border wall has always been a controversial topic, whether it be ethically, morally, or fiscally. It's just been a quite debated topic without a couple of years since he's been inducted as president. So today we're going to be talking about some of the pros, cons, who are the winners, who are the losers, and whether or not this is a good idea for the Texas culture to add this border wall. So some of the pros being, according to my own opinion, is that there's obviously going to be less illegal immigration. And with, according to Pew Research, 8 million illegal immigrants in the workforce right now, and 5% of them making up the unemployment rate, there would be available jobs, more available jobs for the unemployed American citizens to be able to grab instead of illegal immigrants coming over the wall illegally and taking over those jobs. Another thing would be, we always talk about numbers and stuff like that, amounts of people, populations coming over, but we don't talk about the human trafficking that happens, the dangers of crossing rivers and deserts. So with the wall, it would deter the illegal immigrants from crossing in these dangerous ways and rather do it safely. When 11.3 million illegal immigrants cross, there could be a lot more that crossed legally or gone through the legal process. And unfortunately, a lot of them did die. It's a real problem. But, that comes with the dangers of trying to get into this country. Some of the cons being that $3.8 billion was spent on the immigration budget according to the American Immigration Council. And on top of that, if we had the wall, we would have $3.8 billion plus the estimated $1.7 trillion to add onto the budget for the American wall. Another thing is American loss of jobs for border agents, being that with the wall, instead of border agents, we would have to convert jobs into wall supervisors and surveillancers to watch the wall instead of actively protect the borders. The last con, I guess you could say, would be the foreign relations with Mexico, being that this wall would put stress on both who's going to pay for it, the uproar in Mexico and the American side about not wanting this wall, as well as the illegal immigrants who would I guess riot and do their own kind of thing in Mexico just to protest against the wall in the United States and just give the United States a bad look overall. Some of the winners of this putting a wall here would be the construction companies, the contractors, being that they would be paid by the United States government to build this wall. As I said earlier, the unemployment populations of American citizens would benefit, being that they would be able to take the jobs back that the immigrants would not be able to get if the wall was built. And lastly, the immigrants that are going through the legal process and are doing, the DACA and all that kind of things that are going through the legal process, they would benefit, being that they would have the advantage over the illegal immigrants. While, they go through these dangerous things, these immigrants that are doing the legal process would have the security and knowing that they will be American citizens one day and don't have to be worried about being deported. Some of the losers being that the majority of border agents would lose their job and either become wall surveillancers or lose their job entirely, I guess. Another loser of the situation would be the illegal immigrants themselves, being that it was a little bit easier throughout the years it's been a little bit harder to cross the border throughout the years, and especially with the addition of wall, it would be almost nearly impossible. And the last thing would be the taxpayers, the everyday Joes, being that the wall with the 3.8 budget already, and then the addition of $1.7 trillion to the wall budget, it would put a big dent in the everyday Joe's pocket. So overall, besides fiscally and morally, or yes, including both of those, it is a very good idea to put up a wall, being that it discouraged the illegal actions taken by these individuals and encourages them to not only become U.S. citizens, but it benefits them becoming U.S. citizens, being that they don't have to worry about being deported or going back or any kind of just hiding from the police. It's just a better situation overall to encourage the legality of their actions. But so that's my opinion, being that it is better to have a wall both for the American citizens, illegal immigrants, and immigrants that are going through the whole legal process. So thank you for your time, and I hope we get a good grade.